too often the foods that we love are not sharing that love with our heart. So being heart healthy starts with what we eat, of course. And joining me to discuss that is Dr. John Higgins, a cardiologist for UTHealth Houston. So tell me, summarize what is a heart healthy diet?
Okay, a heart-healthy diet, Haley, is something that is going to improve our blood vessels and also help our heart to pump better. So the foundations of a heart-healthy diet are going to be fresh fruit, vegetables, lean protein, low salt, and using those oils that we know are healthy, the plant-based oils like olive oil, avocado oil, as well as some legumes and nuts. And that is the basis of the heart-healthy diet, because that'll lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, and also help you exercise, which is important for heart health as well.
I'm hearing that you like the Mediterranean diet then.
Yes, yes.
That tends to be a heart-healthy diet.
Right. So the main diets that are considered to be heart-healthy by most of the heart foundations throughout the world are going to be, Haley, the Mediterranean diet, the plant-based diet, and then also the DASH diet, which is kind of a low-salt version of the Mediterranean diet. So at the foundation, you've got whole grains, things like vegetables, potatoes every day, couscous, and then you've got a couple of times a week oily fish like salmon, tuna, as well as lean chicken, and then having a little bit of yogurt, Greek yogurt, nuts, legumes, and then occasionally having, your red meats and sweets. But those are kind of like a special occasion food.
And you think that this starts with breakfast too?
Oh, absolutely. So I believe that a good, strong breakfast is an important part of heart health. Now, if you're going to work out in the morning, I'm all for doing your workout before your big breakfast. But anyway, things like whole grains or having some granola, as well as some Greek yogurt, maybe some almonds on top of that, some cashews. We know cashews boost your HDL cholesterol. And then on the side, a glass of freshly squeezed juice. And then going to lunch. Now, this is important for kids at school, Haley.
That's what I was going to ask you. We're all thinking about school lunches.
Yeah, so, I mean, the main thing with school lunches are make sure you try to have a little bit of lean protein, have some lean as well dairy, and that can be, like a low-fat cheese, and the protein could be a little bit of chicken, and then a little bit of carbs, so a little bit of whole grain bread. And you can either make a sandwich for your kids, or you can do a salad in a box, or you can do, like a Lunchables. They have these where you can get them. They're only about 250 calories, and they have a little bit of each you can buy if you don't have time. So I would rather you go with that, because unfortunately, a lot of the school cafeterias are, use the wrong oils, and they're not as heart healthy. So we want your kids to have a heart healthy lunch. And then, of course, for dinner, as we talked about, focusing on the Mediterranean or a plant-based diet and cutting back on your salt.
And of course, we've got to exercise too. Is there one that's more important than the other, diet or exercise?
That's a great question, Haley. Based on my experience, I would say that if people are trying to lose weight and get heart healthy, I would put now the diet of about 60%, and then the exercise at 40%.
I think it used to be different. We used to put a lot of emphasis on exercise, but now you're saying watch what you eat.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important. And part of the reason for that is, Haley, look, if you are having a regular diet during the day, you are going to have to put in, like, say you have 500 calories to 1,000 calories. That equates to 10,000 to 20,000 steps, or basically walking for 3 hours to burn that off. It's almost impossible. So what we have to do is we have to have the heart healthy diet, so you get your calories down to about 500 to 750, and then doing your usual exercise during the day, an hour to an hour and a half, you can kind of compensate for that. But if the diet is out of control, it's almost impossible these days to have the time to exercise to counteract that. So definitely diet is really, really important. We know that, for example, a healthy diet can bring your blood pressure down 10 millimeters of mercury, whereas exercise tends to bring it down only about 5 to 7 millimeters of mercury.
Really? Wow.
So the diet can be really, really powerful thing. And of course, drinking lots of water. Most people should be drinking about 3/4 of a gallon to a gallon of water. And finally, Haley, getting that 7 to 9 hours sleep a day. If you don't get that appropriate sleep, actually that's going to have higher blood pressure, higher cholesterol, and that's not heart healthy. So all of those things are parts of the jigsaw puzzle.
You're awesome, Dr. Higgins. I appreciate it. Dr. John Higgins from UTHealth Houston, always giving us wonderful tips on how to keep our heart healthy. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.